wait along the way, right? And you're offering, well, hey, before you take off, at least let me get you my very best price, payment, interest rate. That way you got something to think about. Hopefully when you're ready, you'll come do business with me, right? Well, however we say it. Now, once we get them inside, a lot of you guys don't know how to convert that from let me get you my best price and payment before you leave to I'm ready to buy the car right now. Is this a difficult one or not? So we're going to do a little role playing on that, okay? So in this case, you have to use a lot of hypotheticals, okay? You're going to use a lot of like, when you're ready to move forward, is this what you had in mind type thing? I'm going to do one here with you right now, but if you start that with, can you do this now? Then you're going to get, well, like I told you, I'm not doing anything right now. You said we're just going to look at numbers, so I just wanted to see what the numbers are, right? So it has to be a hypothetical scenario till you get to the right point. It's about timing right there, okay? So as soon as I come in and sit down with them, again, start loading your CRM. This is, if you got to put your head down, you can't make eye contact right now because you told them outside you're going to get them your best price and payment before you leave. And now you're asking for their information. You know it's a little bit awkward sometimes, right? Okay. If you got to put your head down, then so be it. But hey, let me get your driver's license real quick. I'm a horrible speller. I'm going to get your information in the system real quick so I can print out a worksheet for us. Okay. They'll allow me to do that. I'm going to inch that thing forward as far as I can. Okay. What's the last thing I'm going to ask for? Because this is where the roadblock comes up. Social. Okay. If you ask for the social first, you're going to end the conversation 8 out of 10 times, right? If they give you the social, now what? That's car deal. Okay. They're not going to give you the fucking social if they're not ready to buy a car. Okay. That's your indicator where they're at right there as well. But I'm going to skip around that. And then I'm going to come back to it because that's going to be my tester right there to get to know exactly where they're at. Okay. And what's your social? Okay, they're either going to 556, and now you get excited. You're like, okay, fuck, we got a car deal. The exact words they will say is they're going to go, what do you need that for? Right or not? I can hear it in my head already right now. They go, what do you need that for? Okay, either direction. If they give it to you, you're not going to run my credit, or they say, what do you need that for? How do we answer that?
Sir, I promise you the best payment price and interest rate. I need your social to give me your socials at 5. We'll start with.
That's what you got to piggyback on that because you offered that outside, right? And they said yes to it. Mr. Customer, outside, I promise you I'm going to get you my very best price, payment, and interest rate. I need this to do that. What's your social again? You got to have the courage to take one more stab at it, guys. Okay? Running inside and going, hey, I sat him down. I told him I was going to get him my best price and payment. Can you get me the price and payment on this? That's not going to sell cars, guys. That's not going to sell cars. You got to have the courage to sit down and you work your way through this process. They're going to allow you to get pretty much everything, and your roadblock will be at that social, and that'll give you an indicator where you're at, right or not? We ask for it. Sometimes they just say it, and you're like, fuck, green light. Head up, okay, now we're ready to rock and roll, right? Or, what do you need that for? I made you a promise outside, this is what it's going to do for you. I need this to do that. Now you got a 50-50. They might give it to you now. They go, okay. I've had a lot of them do that. They'll go, okay. And they tell me they're social, right? Some of them will still say, I don't want to do that just yet. Whatever it is, you move on, okay? You could print everything missing a social. I'll fill that in later, okay? Print your paperwork so you can get started, okay? Not a problem. Let me print my paperwork real quick, and I'll be right back. Get them on your ABCD credit, okay? You guys, a lot of you guys are not using this. You need to use this every time. It's a double tactic. It gives you an exact place to start when you come back, and it gives them something to do while you're gone. If you don't put them on task and give them something to do while you're gone, what do you think they're talking about? Or, yeah, they're looking online, they're shopping you, or they're coming up with a plan to get the fuck out of there because they realize that they're getting further than what they thought they were going to go, right? You come back and they're like, hey, can I get your card? I got to get going. We got to pick up our kids in Fresno. And you're like, fuck, right? Put them on task, guys, okay? And don't just say, hey, look at this for me. Okay, that's going to take them 60 seconds. You're going to be gone about 3 minutes right now. Okay, give them detailed. Hey, do me a favor. Read through each one of these thoroughly for me and let me know which one best describes your credit. I'll be right back. Okay, you got to buy yourself some time and put them on task right there. Okay, another thing, I'll see a lot of you guys go A credit, 750 to 800, 7 to 750. You guys put these things here. I'm not sure who taught you that, but don't do that. That defeats the purpose. Okay, how many times you get a 20-year-old kid that's got a 700 score because he's got a one line of credit, a $250 credit card. I may not even be able to get that kid a loan, let alone the $399 he's asking for. Okay. Okay. The idea is to put this negotiation on our terms. Okay. Does Capital One care about your score? They run a tri-bureau. They have their own scoring system. Does Exeter have their own scoring system? Does down payment, does trade make a difference? Does job time make a difference? This shit don't play a part half the time. How many times have we got a 620 fucking 599 and you're like, motherfucker, right? Or you can't even get a 700 bot and you're like, what am I missing right here? Nobody wants this deal. So where does this 700 and all these scores play a part? I'm not sure who taught you guys that, but drop it, okay? You just use this right here, okay? Because if you do got the kid who's got a 750 score because he's got his, what's that app? Karma or Credit Karma, right? And you do got that. And the first thing he says, are you a homeowner of 5 years? And he goes, no. Have you had your same job for 5 or more years? No. Okay, drop down to B, right? Been at the same address for a year or more? No, I just moved out of my mom's house. Okay, I might be C. Now this changes things, right? Guys, use the credit like it's supposed to be used. Don't put scores right there, okay? That's the purpose, okay? Now, I come back. Hey, did you have a chance to look over that? Yeah. Which one best describes your credit? B credit. Okay, perfect. A, B credit, compliment them on it. They like that, right? Do people have good credit? Do they take care of their credit? Do they have pride in their credit? Anybody ever just tell you their credit score when it's not even relevant at all? Right or not? On the lot, you're showing the card. They just want, just a Credit Karma, I'm 805. You're like, that's great. This is the steering wheel. Right? They're proud of it. So if they got A, B credit, compliment them on it. Okay, great. That makes my job a lot easier. Okay? A, B credit. How do I mention the down payment? Suggested. Okay? Suggested, recommended. Not bank requires. Okay? If we're still using bank requires, get off that. Use the verbiage that's on this ABCD credit guidelines. Okay? They've read it already once, so they know that's coming. Okay? Hey, great. B credit, that makes my job so much easier. Suggested down payment is 20%. In this case, it's going to be roughly about $6,000. I say $6,000 one time. That's it. After that, it's always percentage. Okay? Now, of course, you know, the more you put down, the lower your payment's going to be. When you're ready to move forward, what do you have in mind for down payment? See how I say that? When you're ready to move forward, what do you have in mind for down payment? This keeps the ball rolling forward. Okay? Not how much can you put down? They go, well, I don't want to put anything down right now. Like I said, I'm not looking to do anything. You're going to get the wall again. Make sense? A lot of hypotheticals right here. Okay? Hey, when you're ready to move forward, is this what you had in mind or did you have something else in mind? What are we looking to put down when you're ready? 3,000? All right. Now I'm going to give them my hypothetical payment again. Okay, perfect. With 3,000 down, that would normally put us somewhere in the neighborhood between 650 and 750, of course, depending on rate terms, things like that when we get to that point. Is this kind of what you had in mind right here?
No, that's too much. I was thinking 450.
You're trying to stay around the 450 range? Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Let's just pause here real quick. Out of these two numbers, which one of these two do you think is real right now? 450 is the real number right now.
Yep.
Okay? 9 out of 10 times, this is why we're not doing it right now. Because in their mind, every customer comes with their own math that they've already done at home. And they already know I need 3,000 down to get my payment under 500 because that's what they believe, right or not? And that 9 out of 10 times, that's the holdup. okay? But I can't go straight to it yet. I gotta play the game, okay? It's gotta be a perfect combination of hope and doubt, okay? I gotta create that doubt, but also hope, okay? I don't think it's gonna work, but let's give it a shot, okay? Customer's going, I don't think that's gonna work, but if you could do it, yes, I'll do that. It's that perfect combination of hope and doubt. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna play the game, okay? Normally to get to around 450, it would probably take that 6,000, maybe even a little bit more, I'm not sure, to help get to the payment you had in mind. Who had in mind, me or him? To help get to the payment you had in mind, if it took closer to that 20%, is that a possibility?
Maybe in like a month or two.
Maybe in like a month or two?
Yeah.
Okay, so 3,000 is what you have to work with?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I know in a perfect world, 450 is what you had in mind. Normally with 3,000, we'd be closer to this. If we needed some help here, what would be the absolute most? 450 up to what?
Maybe 5.
Maybe 5? That's my number, guys. That's my number, okay? Now I do the hypothetical, okay? So let me ask you this, Sergio. Even with the 3,000 down, we're probably still a little ways away from buying a car. And if I remove this 3,000, just hypothetically speaking, even at the 5, if 5 did work, removing that 3,000 would probably put me closer to 6. But you're here right now, and I'm here right now. I don't want to go back out there and find another customer, and I'm sure you probably don't want to do this whole process again either. Am I right?
Right.
Let me ask you this. If there was a way to keep this at 500 and we didn't use anything out of your pocket, is there anything that would stop you from moving forward at that?
No, that's cool.
Here's what I'm gonna go tell my boss. This is how it happens, guys. This is how it happens. When I say it that way, when I go, if there was a way to keep this at 500 down and no money out of your pocket, okay, and you gotta give them a way to save face. They just told you they have 3,000 in their mind. A month from now, when they're ready, they're gonna have 3,000 somehow. It's gonna come out of somewhere, right? But I got to give them a way to save face. I can't go, hey, is this real? Do you got 3,000 right now? Okay, that's not going to work. Okay, because they're gonna tell me another white lie. Okay, I got to give them a way out. I'll say, hey, let me ask you this: if there was a way to do this, keep you at that 500, not 600, not 650, and we didn't use any money down, you take that 3,000, go spend it on something else. Go spend it on the kids, or go take a vacation or something. But you take that 3,000, you do what you want with it. If there was a way to do this with no money out of your pocket, keep you at that 500. Is there anything that would stop you from saying yes now? Okay, here's what I'm gonna tell my boss, okay? I'm gonna tell him I will buy now at offer. Who's writing this out? No, but who's actually writing this out? Raise your hand if you've written this out in the last week. Is Benegas consistent on this? This is important, guys. Okay, this is the last step to get that last hope and doubt on the way out the door. Okay, so here when I flip that around, I'm gonna say, hey, this is what I'm gonna tell my boss. Now keep in mind, this is just an offer. This doesn't mean that it's done yet. Okay, we're probably not in much threat of buying a car right now, to be perfectly honest with you. But I'm gonna try my hardest because you're here and I'm here and I wanna make this work. I'm gonna tell my boss, I will buy now at offer if we can make it work with 500 down and no money out of your pocket. You back me up at that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say easy words for him to say yes to. Like, if I can get this down with 500 out of your monthly and no money out of your pocket, is there anything that would stop you from saying yes to that? Not, would you buy the car right now? That could trigger something. Because what if they already told me outside? I'm not buying today. I'm not buying today. I'm not buying today. Right? So if I use those same words against him right now, that's going to trigger something. He's like, oh, fuck, no, I'm not buying anything today. So I change the words a little bit and I'll make it easy to say yes. Does this make sense? Is if we can get it with $500 a month, no money out of your pocket, you keep that 3,000. Is there anything that stop you from saying yes to that? Or would you back me up at that right now? I'm going to use the words that are easy to say yes to. I'm not going to use the words that he's already told me outside no to 10 times. That's going to pull a wall back up. Does it make sense, guys? Little words make the difference right there. Okay. Now I get my initial, boom, boom, boom. Okay, do me a favor real quick. I will need this. What is your social? Now I'll handwrite the social in, the last piece I need. Make sense? This is not the rule, okay? This is not how you work every car deal. If they're gonna allow you to go through the process, you go through the process. But if I'm telling them outside, hey, they're like, We're going to hold off. We need to wait a month or something, which is probably because they got to come up with this, right? And then I have to persuade them to come inside. Hey, before you take off, at least let me get you my best price, payment, interest rate so you have something to think about. Hopefully when you're ready, you'll come and do business with me. Is that fair enough? Yeah, sure, I'll do that. They're going to agree to that, right? This is where I'll use this hypotheticals to flip that to a right now purchase. Okay? But that's how I got to go through that, guys. Get all the information you can through your CRM. Till they stop you. If they let you get everything, get everything. Put them on task. A, B, C, D credit. Okay? Go through the whole process using, okay? When you're ready to move forward, were you thinking the 20% or did you have something else in mind? Okay, let them lob out this number that they think is going to be possible down the road. How many times have you had somebody who makes $2,000 a month tell you they're going to save up $4,000 in 30 days? Right or not? In their mind, they're going to figure it out somehow. Odds are it's probably not going to happen, right? So I'm not going to wait 30 days on that. If I can figure out a way to make it work right now, okay? Once we get past this hurdle and I get this yes, and I know I'm on my way out the door and I'm like, hey, Sergio, I'm going to do my very best. In my opinion, I think we might be as much as $100 close. So think about your budget a little bit. Maybe you could help a little bit, but I'll be right back, okay? That next bump is going to be easy now because now we got the ball rolling. We got over that hurdle of I'm not doing it today, okay? Whatever the hiccup was. Make sense, guys? And if it's not this, then keep digging. Okay, you got everything there. You got the whole credit app filled out except the social. You're right there. So keep digging, okay, and find out what it is. Okay, let me ask you this. What's the one thing that would stop you from saying yes now? Sometimes it's something that's not even on this piece of paper. Maybe it's, I got 3 payments left on my car. I want to pay my car off first. Then I'll figure that out, okay? If I were to put something on the accessory line, let you pick out a set of wheels, and I write you a check for that $900 that equals those 3 payments. I don't care what wheels or what the hell you do with that check. But if we figured out a way to get rid of those 3 payments for you, we'll figure things out, right? But I got to go through this hypothetical scenario to get the ball rolling. If I just walk in and say, hey, Gurdeep, come talk to my customer. I told them they don't want to do nothing right now. I just told them that I'd give them my best price before they leave. Okay, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, right, Gurdeep or not? Now, when you walk up, you guys got to remember, now when you walk up with your manager, they think you're going to get a best price because that's what you told them. Now you're walking up with a manager and they're already looking like, what is this? They got that look on their face. Now Gurdeep's introducing himself. Hey, do you like the way the car drives, all that? This has to come from you guys. This is the only way this works. It really is. Okay, and I'm not telling you something in hypothetical terms like I think this will work. I've done this 1,000 fucking times. I've done this so many times I can do it in my sleep. It fucking works if you have the confidence to make it work. But you got to know, okay, there's something that's stopping him from saying yes right now. I'm going to fucking figure it out right here. I'm going to figure it out on this piece of paper. What's that one thing stopping him from saying yes? And we're going to get past that. Okay? But you got to play the game. You got to hit the ceiling, as the old terms. Okay, hit the ceiling and peel them back off because that's when they feel like they're winning. Okay? If I did the same thing, just sat them down and said, hey, if it was no money down and $500 a month, would you take it home now? No, we're going to wait. There wasn't enough back and forth right there to make them feel like they're winning the transaction. Or they think it was too simple. And in their mind, they're going, that's not going to work. Okay, now the doubt is way overriding the hope. And they think they're wasting their time. And they don't want to be embarrassed. That's part of it too. They don't want to go through the process to be told, no, that doesn't work. They rather save themselves the embarrassment. I made it too easy for them. And they're like, no, that's okay. In their mind, I need $3,000. I bought in a car before. I know how to do this. I know how this works. I've owned 2 cars. I know how this works, right? I know I need $3,000 down to get to my payment. You got to play the back and forth game, guys. You really do. You got to make that shit work, okay? One more I want to go over with you real quick, okay? I'll post this later. You may have to go back and watch the video a couple times to understand the verbiage. It's not so much what you say, but also it's the timing of it. Okay, the timing of it plays such a part. The tonality, the timing. When do I say what? Okay, that's what that creates that whole urgency, that winning scenario where the customer is going, okay, I don't think it's going to work, but yeah, if you can do that, yeah, I'll drive it home. That's where you want them. It's that perfect combination of hope and doubt. Okay. Next thing, I've been seeing oftentimes where you guys, again, customers allowing you to jump from here to here because we don't have the exact car they want. Or no, he doesn't want to drive it. He already told me he won't drive it. He only wants a white one. And I got the same car in gray, but this customer will not drive it, right? And your manager walks out there and goes, hey, how you doing? Da, da, da. Let me see if I can find a white one for you. While I do that, you mind driving this one and see how it feels? Make sure you like it? Yeah, I want to drive it. I'm like, does this happen? Does this happen? And then we're going, did the customer say they didn't want to drive it? Or did the salesman take the first out and decide to jump down here? Because maybe they also said, I want a white one and I want to be no more than $500 a month. So you use that color to jump down here. I don't know. I'm not there. You know, though. Okay. But I just think it's weird how the salesman comes in and customer will not do nothing unless we got the color they want. And it takes 30 seconds and they're on a test drive. That's happened to somebody here? So Dominic thinks I'm talking to him right now, huh? Guys, hey, not a problem. We have access to every dealer around. So if it exists, we can get it for you. But if you don't like the way the car drives, the color is irrelevant. Am I right? Let's take it around the block. Make sure you like the way it rides. When we get back, if it's available, we'll find it for you. Okay? Give them some security and move forward. Okay? When I write that up, am I going to write up the imaginary one, or am I going to go inside and hit my boss and say, hey, boss, can you give me the specs on a white one? You're wasting time. Now your customer's sitting over there cooling off like a motherfucker. You're wasting time right now. Okay, you sit them down, you put them in the CRM just like you were taught. You go through the process. You go through the whole thing. Okay, so just like this, but white, right? Yes. Okay, perfect. And your B credit, that normally is 20% down. Of course, the more you put down, the lower your payment's going to be. And you go through the whole process, guys, just like normal. We will switch 99 out of 100 of these customers will drive the one that they drove. And when you do it correctly, most of the time they do the switch for you. I've had so many times they go, well, if you can give me the 600, I'll take the one that we drove. How many times has this happened, Gurdeep? You don't even got to do it. They just do it for you. Right? Well, if you can keep me under 5, I'll take the one outside.
Or something else in stock.
Okay? But what happens right here? Why do we come in with that write-up? Hey, they won't do nothing. Because we allow the customer to jump us from here to here. We took that opportunity. Are you going to tell me these customers are that sharp that they buy a car once every 3 years and they can outsmart my staff that trains for this daily? Or was this in our head that I don't want to waste my time here and I took that opportunity to jump from here to here? Right? Come on, guys. We're better than that. We're sharper than that. Okay? We train for this. We can push them through that. Okay? I know color is important to you, Rick. But if you don't like the way the car drives, you wouldn't buy it just because I got you the white one, would you? Of course you wouldn't. Let's drive this one, make sure it's the right one for you. If you like the vehicle, I'll pull you in the color you want. I have access to everyone. Okay, now let's say he goes, no, that's okay. We'll just go look ourselves. Do they say this sometimes? I say, Mr. Customer, the next Toyota dealership is 30 miles from here. And the next one's another 5 miles after that and so forth. You could spend a whole weekend and get the 3 dealerships. I could spend 3 minutes and look at the entire state. Let me help you here, okay? Let's be smart about your time. I know your time's important to you. Am I right, Rick? You look like a busy guy. Okay, let me work for you. Okay, let me do my job. I can do in 3 minutes what would take you 30 days. Okay? Take control, guys. Don't run inside here and say, boss, give me a V-spec. He won't do it unless it's a white. We're better than that. We're better than that. Okay? Just like this, but white, and work your car deal. Okay? 20% down. That's normally 8,000. Of course, you know the more you put down, the lower you pay. Go through the whole process. Go through the whole process. A color switch should be a sheet on a vehicle here with a commitment that says $3,000 down, $600 a month, just like this, but white. That's how we do a color switch, okay? I know we know this, but lately I've been seeing a lot of this for whatever reason, whether it's payment, color. They told me that they don't have great credit, okay? If they told you outside, I don't have the best credit, what are we going to tell you when you bring them inside? What kind of car? 120,000 or Black Star. What am I going to tell you, Pedro? Bring them inside. Hey, they said they don't have great credit. They got some challenge credit. What kind of car should we put them on? What am I going to tell you? I'm going to tell you, go put them on something cheaper, right? Go put them on something under 20 grand, okay? Because when I write them up and then I come back and I say, hey, we got a way to go, now all of a sudden I don't like nothing on the lot. You guys are coming back 10 minutes later, boss, we don't have nothing they want. I'm like, you fucking kidding me? This customer just wanted an approval 5 minutes ago, and now out of our 300 cars, we don't have anything that they'll take? Does this happen? Right? Guys, we gotta be sharper now. We already know. Why do we not do that? Because we bought into what the customer told us. We let them affect our thinking, and we took the out they gave us. They gave us a way to jump from here to here, and we took it. Now I take the customer back. I got approval, and I try to go back and work the process. Customer says no. Now we're doing it on my terms, being customer's term. Okay? Now you don't have what I want. You get a customer that can't get approved, and 10 minutes later they're telling me, I'm super picky on what. I'm like, what the fuck you mean you're super picky? Yes or no? I've had this. They go, I'm super picky on what I want. I just had this 2 weeks ago. Customer, can you get me approved? First time buyer, get him approved. And then I'm super picky on what I want. It's got to be either an Audi or a BMW. I'm like, you kidding me? Guys, run them through the process, okay? Don't reinvent the wheel. The process has been there the whole time, and it works. You got to run them step by step, okay? We got to take them from a rational experience and get the emotion in there so we can play our game as well, okay? And it's not manipulation, okay? But they came here to buy a car, did they not? And we have the recipe to help them buy a car. Okay, there's not a professional car buying school, okay, but there is professional car selling school. Okay, they came here with a need to buy a car. If we do not help them buy a car, are we doing them any justice? No. If we just answer their questions and let them leave and we're the nicest guy, and you're so fucking great. Thanks, the last guys were assholes. They just tried to sell me a car. They tried to do their job, but you didn't try that at all. You're fucking great. We're definitely going to come back and see you. Right or not? And then when you call them the next day, oh, we swung by on the way home and they just helped us get what we want. But you were great. You were great. Right? Run them through the process, guys. It's there for a reason. Okay? Don't let them dictate how we do it. Until they come up with a better 10-step process, we'll use ours. Okay? Let's just use ours. Fair enough? And if you got to persuade them to come inside, then you use hypothetical scenarios when you're ready to move forward, what you have in mind, until you get to the point where you could take something away. Hey, let me ask you this, and we use hope and doubt. I don't think it's going to work, but you're here now, and I'm here now. And I don't want to go find another customer and start this process again, and I'm sure you don't want to find another salesman. Am I right? I'll get some small yeses. Yeah, you're right. Let me try this. I'm going to see if I can get it done with no money down. You keep your $3,000. Go spend it on something else. Put some rims on the car. I don't care. Okay, if you need help spending that $3,000, I can spend money like a motherfucker. I'll help you. Just hit me up. All right? Does humor work? Humor sells, guys. Humor sells. Okay? Take something away and get them to move forward. Okay? And don't come to me saying, hey, can you find me a white one? No, show me a write-up sheet with a commitment like this, but white. That's how we sell cars. All right? You guys ready to rock and roll today? Good damn day yesterday. You guys all killed it. We got our momentum back. So let's go out there and crush it today and work our 10 steps. All right? Let's rock and roll, guys.